DJ and PK, we just had Steve Cleveland on talking NCAA Tournament. He changed your mind about something? Did he highlight something, PK? Did he get you pondering something you had not previously considered?
He's very high on the Aggies, and, I think that it's not necessarily being a homer. It's just being exposed to them. When you see them play as many times as he has, as many times as we have, and you understand, you talk to people and they tell you this Jared Calhoun is a great basketball coach, that you're naturally drawn to them.
We've both heard that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
people are really impressed with what he's doing.
It's not necessarily like you're a homer. And to an extent,
but
we want him to win.
Not a homer, but you are biased.
Well, because you're
watching
exposed
them.
To it.
We're watching them night in and night out, and we're not watching NC State, and we're not watching Texas, and we're not watching Villanova.
So I think that's where he's coming from that perspective. And to me, the reason why I've been high on BYU's possibilities of getting into the Sweet 16 is nobody else in the game has a player the caliber of DeBonsa. Nobody. I think he's the best player. I just got my Wooden Award ballot today. I think he's the best player in the game. And when you have that, you always have a shot. And they found themselves defensively, which is really cool to see. And I think DeBonsa needs to just go, like Cody Williams last night. We just played, you had a big game. Mm-hmm. Well, we couldn't really say it, but the reason why he had a big game in large part is he knew, I'm better than these guys on my team here. Our guys, they're not playing, and we're sitting out George now because of he got banged up the other day, and we know about the two forwards gone and so forth. So this is my time.
He doesn't have to defer.
Right.
And that gives you a certain confidence to just cut loose.
And so he goes out there, and he has literally the best game he's played in his almost 2 years as a pro. And a large portion of it was if Markkanen and Jackson and those guys and George had played, he didn't have that kind of game. and DeBonsa, you have that kind of game no matter who's out there. So now is the time for you to really, really take over. And he has an opportunity in these next 2 weeks to really, really shine. I mean, the best player, if he doesn't have enough of the horses around him, can only go so far. We understand that LeBron's not winning the title every year, or the best player, Jordan, whoever you want. They don't do that. But I really want to see A.J. DeBonsa just take that next step up and just really dominate on all aspects of the game, because he has that in him too. He's a willing passer, and go ahead and do that. And I'm real excited to see what he does, because that game on Thursday, and they put that game in that time slot, 5:30 our time, so it's 7:30 back east,
prime time in the
where a large portion of the population in this country resides. And next Thursday and Friday are the two least productive work days in the entire calendar in the United States, as they should be, right?
Borderline holidays.
Right. And so go ahead and really flourish. I really hope he just takes control and just dominates.
It wasn't anything he said, and I think you're big on this kind of stuff. It wasn't any particular quote that we need Yak to clip and play, but just more his tone and his confidence level when he was doing the media availability after the bracket was announced. I felt like it's like, I don't know what the proper analogy or comparison is, but it's just the quote, let the big dog run. I felt like he was just like, he's ready for the race. Like, he's grown up watching the NCAA tournament. He's probably watched a bunch of games he thought were really cool. He's seen a bunch of guys playing it, and this is his one chance to do it. I mean, one shining moment is the corporate cliche, and they got the song and all that. But it is one shot for him because he's going to be in the pros next year. This is it. And I just really felt listening to him like, this guy is really ready to go. He's not 1 foot out the door. This is his chance on this stage, and he wants it bad. Maybe lots of people want things really badly. Maybe they get it, maybe they don't. To your point, all that really matters is for each game when he walks out, is he going to be the most talented player on the floor? Yes. Steve Cleveland just said beating Gonzaga will be really challenging. Well, that won't be challenging because they've got one player better than DeBonsa. That'll be challenging because of what Dave Rose said. Like, they'll have like the 3 best big men in the league, So during that game, is Gonzaga going to have 3 of the top 4 players on the floor or 4 of the top 5 or whatever. That's how the Zags will take BYU down if it comes to that, assuming, the seeds hold, which is a crazy thing to assume in the NCAA tournament.
Yes, right, exactly.
But I'm going to assume it anyway.
I think there's a decent chance.
This early, there's less risk.
Yeah, right. We expect those types of players to shine, and we expect those types of teams to at least win a ball game. That's all you're talking about, is winning one ball game and getting to that. The second round on can get dicey. First round, I'm expecting both of these teams to be playing on, what would that be, Saturday afternoon or early evening, and go from there.
¿Quieres mejor internet? Cox Internet de 300 megas tiene las velocidades rápidas y confiables que buscas. Perfecto para streaming y gaming y trabajar desde casa. Todo por solo $45 al mes cuando agregas Cox Mobile. Incluye equipo de Wi-Fi y garantía de precio de 2 años en tu plan. No esperes. Cámbiate hoy a Cox. Requiere Cox Mobile Gig Unlimited. Garantía de precio no incluye impuestos y cargos. Velocidad de datos móviles se reduce después de 20 gigas al mes.
There's a belief now in BYU that I don't think that they had. They got past it. And they knew time was running out, and they got past it. And so being able to play whomever they play, NC State or Texas, that they should be able to play well enough to win that ball game and then go do their thing in the second round, and we'll see we're there. But I'm really excited for DeBonsa because I still believe in, I could be off on this. This is my perception, not any form of research, is that he's still under the radar a little bit for the exposure of fans that are going to be able to see him.
Yes.
Not for the NBA people.
No. They're all, actually all the stories are out there. It sounds like he's unanimous number 1 now. I mean, if people are running around the conference tournaments to the NBA scouts, what do you think? And they're all just like, AJ.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So he's not, I'm not talking about the professionals.
But as far as the general public finding out about
national buzz.
Just from how many times we had to stay up to watch BYU play in an 8 or 8:30 tip, and then the game gets joined in progress because the previous game runs long. It happens a billion times. So that means it's 10 or 10:30 in the East, and the game's running long, and it's going to be midnight. And the hardcore watch him. But when they were playing the high-profile games early in the year, it was still football season. And so this is it's a coming out party for a lot of fans. Not for hardcores and not for the locals. The hardcores and the locals know, but you're right. This is a stage where people can be like, oh, that's why they're talking about this guy.
And he's a fresh face. And I really, really enjoy and admire that he took the path less traveled. Nobody of his stature has ever done this before in the history of the game.
Well, this is nothing. I mean, last year was really something. I mean, who goes from Boston to Hurricane?
People who go from Boston to Hurricane.
That's a pretty short list. Yeah. Now he's doing the big city.
Go to California.
Yeah, he did have that.
California too.
And so he's bounced around a little bit. But you have to go back to like a Larry Bird, Indiana State.
He went to Indiana for a semester and left.
Yeah. So that caliber of player, and BYU has a higher plateau of accomplishment than Indiana State. We understand that.
So you don't want to go Steph Curry? But because he was a smaller slider guy?
I think he went there because he didn't go to the other places didn't want him.
Right, yeah. Because he's a smaller slider guy. Duke wasn't beating down his door.
Yeah.
Whereas AJ could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, we want you let me check the roster, see if we got room for you.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Come on down.
Right. Any school in the country
would have taken him. Pretty much every school wanted him. So.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? And I understand the finances played a factor, and so most of the places didn't have those finances available. I understand that completely. But he still went out of his way to come here. He came to where we are. I have been rooting for this kid just for that reason from day one. Because he didn't have to do this. He wanted to. He was going to be a millionaire no matter where he went. And he was going to have enough money to enjoy a beautiful life wherever he chose. And he still chose here, which was off the path. You can't argue that. It's still off the path. Money, 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 fine. Drill the money into my brain 1,000 times over. I'm acknowledging that. But he didn't have to choose that because he was going to get that money anywhere. And he still chose here. And I think that's really cool to do something different. He believed in Kevin Young to where I wanted to. And yes, the circumstances had to come to pass together, and where Kevin was down there in Phoenix with the other Kevin Durant, which really stuck out, and Booker and Chris Paul and those guys, and they had a phenomenal run when Kevin Young was there, got to the finals, blah, 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 all that stuff. I realized Durant wasn't there, but you get the point that had to happen. Well, it did happen, and he still chose, or maybe if the circumstances were different, he wouldn't have chose BYU, but he did. And because of he's choosing something different, I'm rooting for him.
I wonder what would have happened if he'd gone to Duke. That was the question when we watched him on ESPN when he was making the announcement. It's like, why not Duke? Like you and Boozer together?
It would have just been another story.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah. And he's talked about Durant multiple times because he just broke the tournament scoring record. And he says, well, because it's him, because it's a guy I've looked up to and a guy I know, it means more. So you're right. The stars aligned that Durant would cross paths with Kevin Young in Phoenix. Definitely helped.
And it happened. Yeah.
Right. Definitely helped.
Sure.
But there's always stories like that in recruiting. Somebody crossed paths with somebody and you get an advantage.
Right. And now it's his time to really shine. And
I just listen.
I want him to be a 40-40 man this week.
Listen to him. It sounded like he was just so eager to get to the moment. Not anxious, eager.
Or is it different?
Get to the moment. Yes.
I hope he goes for 40 Thursday and Saturday. He's a 40-40 guy.
Man. Stealing all the headlines.
That would be really, really cool. And they get 2 wins. And then the world, so to speak, really sees what he's about.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Stay with us. More March Madness coming up right here on The Zone.